There's a product that is making sellers thousands per month on Etsy. We are talking about the 5-figure range, and I could not make a tutorial on this product and how to create really nice designs for this product in this video today. So if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Heather. I am a top 1% Etsy and print-on-demand seller, and I have started, scaled, and grown multiple Etsy and print-on-demand businesses to 5 and 6 figures, and I've helped a lot of subscribers, followers, and clients who have done the same in their businesses as well. And if you haven't already and you've been watching this channel for a while, if you could please hit that subscribe button. I've looked recently and it's around 60 to 70% of repeat return viewers actually aren't subscribed to this channel. So if you're able to, that would really help in liking and commenting during the videos. That is what allows me to give this content for free on YouTube and keep pushing out content like this. So thank you to those of you who have done so and continue to do so on this channel. Now, besides that product that I am doing a full step-by-step tutorial on today is phone cases, and I have yet to do a tutorial on phone cases on this channel. So I am really excited to go over this product, deep dive into the niches that are selling, just showing how you can create a phone case that you know is most likely going to get some sales and then could be maybe that potential 5-figure product one day in your own business. Without further ado, let's hop right into it, guys. Okay, so our research starts on Etsy. If you have watched any of my YouTube tutorials in the past, you will know I always start here, and I always start with my EverBee Chrome extension. Now, you can get that in the links down below. There is a free plan to start, and I highly recommend it if you are in your research phase of any product you create. Now, the first thing I like to start out with is just searching up simply phone cases to get a feel on, first off, the SEO that people are typing in as search queries. So as we see already, phone cases iPhone 13, phone cases iPhone 14, these both have over a few thousand monthly searches. So if I'm creating SEO on this type of product, when I'm publishing to Etsy, we do want iPhone 13 and iPhone 14, given we do have to sell a case that is that. We want it to be relevant to our search phrases that we are using, the keywords we're using, but that is number one thing that I like to start with. Now, I'm just going to search up phone cases. And one of my pro tips in using the EverBee Chrome extension is by scrolling to the side here and clicking on Product Analytics. Underneath this, I'm going to click on Search Entire Database. Now, with this, I like to toggle this monthly revenue area because this shows me what is currently selling. Sometimes I do like to start off with total sales as well, but we can see that this top listing here is hitting the top total sale volumes and top monthly revenue. Now, you'll notice that I'm not sharing most of what I'm seeing in this video. This is just to protect the IP of the sellers on this channel. There is a copycat culture on Etsy, and I always have to make a disclaimer, but when we're looking at monthly revenue, this is all estimated. This is just to give us a feel of, hey, there is demand in phone cases, and a lot of you who I've seen in the comment section have said, I just want to see proof. I want to see evidence. And this is essentially our proof, our evidence that people are selling in phone cases right now. And there is a huge demand for phone cases. Now, in scrolling down the top sellers right now, a lot of them are falling into personalized pet picture types of phone cases. There is some phone cases that are just a wildflower design, and a few other that are in different niches, but what I'm seeing a common thread is just more of the custom pet phone cases. So this gives me a pretty good idea of what I see that is selling, that is trending right now on Etsy. So from here, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to Printify, and I'm going to see on Printify what phone cases I would like to sell. Now, from when we started searching on Etsy, we saw that phone cases for iPhone 13 and 14 are super popular in SEO. So for me as a product, I do want to make sure I'm selling a iPhone 13 or iPhone 14 in the, I believe it comes in multiple sizes, right? It's like the Pro and the Plus. I feel like I need to educate myself on that, and we will get educated during this video. But with the phone case sizes, what's really nice is if we look up phone cases here on Printify's catalog, They have so many choices that you can select from within Printify. One of their most popular ones is the Tough Cases by WOYC. Now, the Tough Cases, they do offer almost every size past, I believe it's like iPhone, I want to say iPhone 10 or so. So yeah, so they have as late as iPhone 8 Plus. Now, there is at times a limit of how many variations you can sell in your print on demand business, but we will have the option to offer most of the sizes, and the iPhone 14, which was a huge SEO search on Etsy. And then we can also select the iPhone 13 all the way to iPhone 10. So this is completely up to your preference on all that you want to offer. One thing I would recommend in the phone space is, since there's so much SEO to put in if you're offering all of these sizes, one recommendation I would have is to maybe do a variation listing and almost do an A and B split test. Maybe on one listing, you'll have just iPhone cases with the same exact design, same SEO, same price, everything is the same. The only thing you're going to change in the second listing is instead you'll offer maybe Galaxy and Google device. The reason why this is a really great idea is because when people are searching in the search bar on Etsy, there might be people who may see that you have an iPhone main thumbnail image and they may not click on that, and it might not be relevant to a Google, Samsung, or Android device search. So that's just one pro tip during this video. But today I'm going to focus on iPhone because hashtag Team iPhone. So now that we know what product we're going to dive into, we're going to have to create a design. So I'm going to hop onto Kittl. I'm going to click on New Project. What I am thinking of doing is some sort of a custom pet portrait listing, because that is what I'm noticing is super selling on Etsy. Is that even like a correct phrase? Super selling on Etsy. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So what I'm finding is selling on Etsy is pet portraits. Now, I want my pet portraits to be different than anything else that is already on Etsy. So I'm going to make my design as unique to my shop as I can, but I'm going to enter into a niche and a product type that I know is selling. Now, this is what differentiates you from the pack. Instead of copying the leaders in the market, it's better to just create your own path in a market we know is already selling. That has always been my goal in these videos. I've had comments where people are like, oh, you're just copying what the market is doing. And that's not the case at all. If you've ever looked at my designs, they are so different than anything on the market. I've had a common thread of people who have done the same designs I have done. And I've seen I've seen listings on Etsy that are just from these YouTube videos, which, you know, I share these YouTube videos to help to inspire and motivate, but please do take your own creative direction when you're doing these designs. This is just to show how I would design, and I hope that it shows some skills and some different things that you can do in your own design. So with our design here, it's asking for a artboard size. Now, with the tough cases, we can see that just about, I'd say each print area size is going to be just slightly different, because a iPhone is going to print slightly different than a Samsung or a Google Pixel or what have you. And the artboard size that we do want to follow is underneath the tough case description for WOYC, which is 1,365 by 2,250. I am not going to remember that, but I will try. So we are going to do 1,365 by 2,250. So now that we have our artboard size, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to increase the resolution to 300 dpi. So this is a recommended DPI for printing. So if you're printing, whether it be t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, blankets, phone cases, mugs, do you want it to be 300 dpi? That is like the sweet spot for resolution. So I'm going to create here from this. Also to note, this is a really fun feature with Kittl, but they recently just came out with their multiple artboards. So not only can we make our design in this video, but we also can create this into a template that we can keep the old designs and duplicate as we go. And then also we can create social media assets. We can create variations of our designs. And there's just so much so much fun that goes with having multiple artboards. So outside of that, we have our artboard size here for the phone cases. What I am going to do for this phone case, I do have a pet. So my new pet, I've shown in past videos. I haven't shown her recently, but I recently adopted a puppy named Chloe. I have a lot of really funny and cute pictures of her. One I am going to bring over here. So I am going to drag and drop my photo of her, and I'm going to turn this into a pet portrait of her. So I'm just going to drag and drop it over. So if you were to do custom pet portrait phone cases, in making my pet portrait custom phone case, what I want to do is I want to almost make a digital version of my dog that's vectorized. I think this would be really fun and really cute on a phone case. I just love the tough cases because they do have the glossy or matte finish. So for me, what I'm thinking of making my dog into is just a vectorized version, and maybe I might alter the colors a little bit as I go. So when you get a pet portrait photo from your customer, if you're not doing vectorization, that's completely fine. If you're just putting an image on a phone, this is essentially how you would do it. You could enlarge this and that would be it. Or a lot of the times the orientation might not be what you need for your pet portrait. So what I like to do is I like to remove the background. So I'm going to click on the AI background remover first. Now I want to vectorize my dog, and oh my goodness, she is so adorable. I can't get over it. This is definitely puppy parent bias where I just love how cute my dog is. So I will stop. I promise I will stop during this video. So I'm going to image vectorize, and for this, we could do one color. We could do 2 or 3 colors depending on how many we want to pick from this. Sometimes what I personally like to do, I like to test out a few types. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put in 2 artboards because I want to see and also show how these may look different depending on how many colors that you choose. I think I'm going to duplicate this a 3rd time. So I'm going to copy, going to paste, and then I'm just going to line this. So this is kind of all together. So this is what's really fun about Kittl is we have multiple artboards that I can kind of illustrate this. So if I were to image vectorize just one color, what I've noticed is that dogs who are closer to the same color, sometimes this can happen with the vectorization. Now, if I were to do, let's say instead we do 3 colors, the vectorization will show her fur a little bit more. And then I am going to show doing many more colors. So we will do in the 3rd one, let's say about 5, maybe, we'll keep it at 5 colors just to show the difference in vectorization of each, because it is going to come out much differently. As we can see, out of the 3, number 1 is it's just really hard to see. There is ways to also, if we're noticing that all of these are kind of showing very similar as far as there's not too much of a contrast between her coloring of her fur, that I may actually want to fix the image in contrast so we can kind of get a better vectorization. So the way that we can do that is by going down here, and I'm just going to up the contrast a little bit. I'm going to increase the brightness, and I'm going to see if this kind of fixes it a little bit. Her eyes are going to be kind of out of it, but that's okay. So maybe I might just make her a little bit lighter so we can kind of get some difference in the way it vectorizes. So I'm going to vectorize the image with 1 here. So that only slightly fixed our problem. So I am going to go back here, and what I'm going to do instead, so I am going to copy, going to paste. So I'm just going to center her again here, and then also just for the sake of straightening that all out. So now I am going to do 3, and we're going to see if we have a better outcome of that vectorization, and maybe if we see the differences in the fur colors. That's kind of what I'm going for here when I'm doing all of this crazy vectorization whatnot. I'm going to vectorize this back to 1 just so we can see that. And then in the third one, I will do the 5 again. So this will just give us an idea of which one that we like the most that we want to go forward with. So out of these, I am still liking this one a lot. I will say I kind of want to see how it is if I did a 4 color. So I'm going to copy this one more time. We're going to go kind of crazy. I'm just going to show for the purpose of this video too, just to show how it looks versus 3, 4, and 5. So I am going to do 4 on this one. And then on the last one, I'm going to do 5 just to give a feel on the differences of the fur color that comes out. Because personally for me, if I were to get a phone case, I would like to see the definition in her mouth. We kind of lose that definition just in the 3 color one, as opposed to doing the 4 color one or 5 color. So I'm going to vectorize this as well. I'm thinking I like this one the most though. Out of all of these so far, I really enjoy this one the most. The first one I definitely would personally not use for a vectorization. I think Artboard 2 and 3 are what I like. Again, this is something you can test out in your shop. For me personally, this is just my preference on what I like, but to each their own in kind of ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background here, and I am going to play with the color palette in a moment here as well. But first I wanted to add in just a little text saying Chloe. So I think I'm going to go with this second one. I just really love it. Like, I love how cute it is. I am going to work on this Artboard 3 for the rest of this video. So what I will do is I'm going to take away these artboards. So I am just going to delete the artboards. Now from here, I can kind of play with this one to how I want it. So I'm going to select both these. So the problem we're running across is the camera will be right there. So I do want to make this so it's midway down the phone that we have the name going on. So I'm going to increase the size here, and then I'm just going to center this. That is not really centered for the dog though, just because my dog picture was not centered. I can't really center it, but I'm going to increase the size here. And I know this looks funny right now. I promise we are going to be fixing some things in a moment. So I'm going to select a font for this that I like. I usually like the Amatic SC. Like, again, if anyone's watched videos in the past, I am a big Amatic SC fan. Has anyone watched the SNL skit with, I want to say it was Ryan Gosling, and the Papyrus skit with the avatar? If you know and you've watched that, comment down. Papyrus is my favorite. We're going to troll the comment section in this video. I'm literally the worst on this channel. I don't. Thanks for those who subscribe and still follow me. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy. I do want her body a little bit higher, but that's just my own preference. When you're doing this for customers, you do want to kind of make a standardized template. So this would be my template. So if I added in a different dog, I would change the name, to Sarah and put in their dog's name, Sarah. Now, I feel like I've never known anyone whose dog is named Sarah, but like, just throwing it out there, Now we have Chloe. I really like how this looks. So the next thing I wanted to play with is the color palette. So this is a feature that not many people know about, but it's like one of my favorite features in Kittl. So you can hover over these colors and it will change the color palette. So this is like super, super fun. There are things I would want to change just because her fur kind of comes out super, like it's choosing like the very bright color out of each color palette. So maybe what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this to maybe like a softer shade. And then I am going to change the background maybe to a little bit darker to see if that kind of takes out that problem. So I really like that. I feel like that looks a lot more like her coloring than the colors before. Another thing to do before you start the color palette method would be to maybe match, like Chloe, I would want to match with a different shade here. So maybe a darker shade in the vectorization I'm going to match. And then the background shade I'm going to match with, let's see, we'll just do the light color. So now it all kind of matches together. So now we can kind of match the shades a little bit as we go down. And I think that's really fun. It almost looks like pop art, right? Like that's what I really love about doing this is it's a little bit different, again, from what we already see on Etsy. We're being unique in our own way with doing a vectorization and then doing these types of colors. But I would like a pastel shade for Chloe. Like I feel like when I think of Chloe, I think of like a pastel pink. So I think I'm going to do this lilac wine, and then I'm going to choose like more of a pastel pink color. Then maybe I might do maybe like a berry. I know that's the color of the year of Etsy is the berry shade. So maybe I'll keep it at like a berry mix. Maybe, that is not what I meant to do. Maybe we can play with the colors. I do like the darker pink though. I think that's just super cute and it'll look really nice on like a matte phone case. I'm very happy with this so far, so I am just going to download this PNG. We can also download a SVG instead of the PNG. Both are pretty big file sizes though, just as a warning. If we also go down, so we can go down to the initial, I believe it was like 13652250. So now it's at least down to that at 300 DPI. So I'm going to download from there just so we don't have that huge file size. Also, again, you can download PNG or SVG. I like PNG, but SVG is easier to scale. So either way works. To each their own on what works for your shop. Personally, I've always stuck to PNG, but I have done SVG for like blankets. So anything that's a huge file size, I'll switch to SVG. After placing this, what I'm seeing on this is that we are going to see a cutoff on that little lens area. So what I want to do to fix this and make sure that doesn't happen is I'm going to move this down a smidge. And then I'm going to download again here. So I will delete this and then we're going to upload this. So depending on what phone case your customer chooses, this box that you see that's grayed out on the outside. So if it's a bigger surface, let's say it's a Samsung Galaxy Ultra, it's going to kind of fit into that mold too. So the dashed area is what your print area is. And depending again on what type of phone case, it could go as big as where the gray is. It just depends on what phone you select. So if you wanted to conform to a bigger size phone case and you find it looks funny, since this is a personalization product, a lot of the times you will be manually importing the design in. So that's something to note, that that's something you're probably not going to come across that often as a problem. But in the case you do, just like keep that in mind. For the purpose of this phone case, I can actually get away with making it a little bit tinier, but if let's say someone ordered a Google Pixel or Samsung device, it's not going to fit the print area just at that bottom piece there. So that's just something to note. But again, for this video, I'm doing iPhone because I am, again, an iPhone girly. So this is the final matte look of the phone case, which is just so adorable. Oh my goodness, I am so stoked about this phone case and just how it came out overall. I think this is just like so cute, so adorable, and just unique. I haven't seen any phone cases like this where it's kind of like a different color pattern and the dog is vectorized and it's just really fun. It's a fun phone case. And overall, there are a lot of mockups on Etsy too you can use. I will say that I really enjoy the Printify generated mockups though. I don't think this is a product that you need to have purchased any other mockups, but again, you know, supporting mockup businesses is great as well on Etsy. I would recommend, you know, if you want to be different than others who are selling print-on-demand phone cases, that might be a better way to go. But for me personally, I would use this as my main mockup image. As far as SEO, going back to what we were talking about earlier, you would want for the title being custom pet portrait tough cases. I would add in iPhone 13, 14, 15. So someone asked this in the comments recently, but if you're looking to do a iPhone and you're trying to hit 13, 14, 15, Etsy does do a process where it almost mixes and matches SEO keywords. So let's say someone's looking for iPhone 13 or iPhone 14, Etsy will mix and match those phrases. So you still can hit the iPhone 14 phrase, even if you have a phrase like I just typed in here. But as far as creating this product, the design and what products to select for this listing, that's about it for that. I am going to publish this and then I am going to finish this on Etsy. When it comes to pricing with print on demand and with all the phone cases I have on this list seem pretty similar to the production fees. I think all of the production fees are the same on WOIC, which is very nice for a product. The production fees is $14.33. So I'm going to go to my profit calculator and I'm just going to import this so I can see what I should price this product at. If I'm looking to price my tough case, and let's say I know that I'm going to be having a 15% off sale running every now and then, and I still want to see profit with that sale, right? So if I were to have it priced around $33.86 on a sale day, I would get $10 of profit. Now, you could go as low as $5. And if you don't run sales as often or you run a different sale, then you can kind of toggle this area. By the way, this profit calculator is in the description if you are curious to kind of play around with this and see how you should price each item that you sell on Etsy. If I had maybe 0% sale going and I wanted a profit of $10, I would have to price at $27.96. And if I had that sale running, then that'd be $33.86. So in the case, let's say I just want $10 profit without a sale, $27.96. Maybe I'll put 99 just as like a nicer price point for my eyes to look at. But if I were to run a sale, let's say we want $27.99, that sounds like a good ballpark area, and I had a sale running, I would still come away with a $5 profit, $5.50. And then if not, if someone buys it without a sale, it'd be $9.30 per phone case I would sell, which is still a really good profit both ways. I'm going to sell these phone cases for $27.99. So I'm going to edit the price on all of these and make it $27.99. I will apply this and I'm pretty much happy with the listings now. So that's pretty much good for me. And that's about it as far as pricing goes. So besides that, guys, that is it on how to design, create this type of product and how to price it to make sure you're getting a consistent profit with every sale. Besides that, if you have any questions, please comment them down below. And don't forget to join my free trainings that I have in the description. I run free trainings on almost a monthly basis, so I would check those out down below. Besides that, I will see you all in the next video here.